Oh, my homosexuals, get in here. Come pop a squatty with me while I give you the lowdown of how I'm feeling. You know, there are days where I have to really sit there and remind myself of what I'm working toward. And so, you're sitting there and you're like, oh, well, that's pretty goddamn obvious, Jake. You want to get your knee healed and your pec all better and get back on the normal program. And of course, this is what I'm working toward. This is what I genuinely want to succeed in. Of course. But the simplicity does not do it the full justice. It's more of a matter of I have to, not even just remind myself, I have to truly imagine the ideal reality that I am training toward. Reason I say this is, while I can feel myself getting better, and I know that the efforts I'm putting in are good, they are strong, they are passionate, and they are worth it because of those reasons, regardless if my knee is healed yet or not, I have to enforce my faith upon a world where I am healed, living at 100%, loving every second of my program without worrying about getting injured. It's not just a matter of, oh, well, I'll just worry about it tomorrow. I'll just keep doing, I'm always going to keep doing my best. That's the bare bone minimum basics of my mentality and my principles about this stuff. But it's so much more of placing myself in the position that I want to be in. I say this all the time, that you got to be willing to put yourself in the surrounding environment and putting in the effort that only you individually can control in order to have the best results possible in the present moment. And I even though it honestly went great today. But I think I've been letting it drag me down a bit, because although the lifts went great, no failures, no bad sets, you could say, I'm not exactly training the way I want to train. I'm doing everything I can with what my body can supply to me, sure. And I'm openly choosing the exercise, reps, sets, weights, whatever you want to say, with what I choose, with what I'm able to do at the moment. But we all know that Mr. ChikinJake wants to get back on his goddamn program. I can't tell you how tough it is for me to just wait it out. And it's good. It is worth it. I feel this way because I believe in the future reality that I am forming every second that I step forward every day. But it's still going to be tough. That's all I'm trying to say. It's more me just being vulnerable and saying it's hard. Not physically. It's, of course, physically I'm always grinding through it, but it's hard to every single day maintain and surpass the standard that you want to uphold, not just to other people, that you want to impress and have, give you the good attention and positive vibes for your effort. Of course, they would do that anyway. That's what real friends are for. But also to myself, really making it to where I fully believe in what I am picking up and putting down. So anyway, before I get too crazy, physically, again, it went great. Like, I honestly can't complain. Like, squats felt good. The box squats did push my knee a little bit more than I thought it would, but that was, again, the whole point of this training now is to lock it in and isolate and load the knee in a way where I can pick up that strength, and hopefully by the time my knee and my quad is strong enough, I can just hop back on the program like nothing ever happened. That's the reality I'm chasing after. But today, I really wasn't feeling all up to it. Trust me, I grinded out. I plugged in the passion. I inserted myself, damn it. But it's that itch in the back of my brain being like, hey man, Noticed that you didn't do any clean and jerks today. Kind of weird. You know, your own psyche is going to try to drag you down at any point that you let yourself slip. And don't get me wrong, it's perfectly healthy and normal to slip up. That's what makes you better. It's the emphasis that you have to pack it back on, try again, and do your best to supersede what you put up the last time. Not just with weight, but with effort. So, all in all, I can give it a good 7.7. 6.5. Not a 7. 6.5. We'll put it there. Because I am proud of the effort. I really did grind through. And you got to remember, I'm doing new things. I don't do machines. I don't do accessories. It's not the way I've ever lifted before. I love the training style that I adapted for myself and the way that I grew it. And, you know, I'm always going to say that as many negatives that you can throw at yourself, you can make up just as many positives, if not more. It's a mindset. That's what I'm always going to say. It's a choice to be happy and positive about what you're doing. And I'm committed to that. But I cannot fight off some of the thoughts where it's honestly better to embrace those thoughts where they're like, hey man, your programming was great. You've never been injured like this before, like only once when I was truly ego lifting. But other than that, like I didn't get really injured for a couple of years, which was amazing, you know? And the only reason I ended up getting injured was because I tried rep maxing every month. And I'm going to inhale, and munch on that fucking negative thought that came to mind so that I can chew and spit out just as many positives on the other end, you know? Because although it sucks and although it may be something that my mind wants to regret, it happened in a positive environment with those that support me. It allowed for me to make the most intellectual and knowledge-based growth and progression I've ever had in weightlifting. I'm so much better at PTing and listening to my body now than I ever have. And it puts me in a position where long term, I won't have to deal with this ever again because I know exactly what it feels like and exactly what my body is going through while I undergo such a shitty feeling. You know? I do not want to do it. It sucks. It is what it is. But it makes me better. You know, I truly believe that. And not just to lie to myself. It's with a purpose. You know, it's with the purpose that if I can get through this, oh man, the future's gonna be fucking easy, you know? So, beyond everything, mentally, I'll just put it at a 7.9, you know? Nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary, but I'm pushing through with a purpose, with a desire, so that I can materialize the existence that I want to inherit. You know, I want to pick that shit up and throw it down with some real goddamn passion. Because I know right now that although I'm trying my best, I'm driving through it as hard as I can, it does not feel the same. I don't like the burn that I get through pushing through some leg extensions. But just as I'm fucking explaining to you, every negative can create a good positive. And if I just got to stick through these couple months of bodybuilding, knee tendon work, recovery, deloading, whatever you want to call it, it's the steps that are necessary to proceed. You know, whether I realize it or not, it's for my future self to understand that. And it's just for me in the present moment to commit and discipline myself for, so that the passion that I collect every single day can eventually become one giant mass of serotonin by the end of it. So I can be like, look at that shit. That's why I fucking did it. I told you so. And not just I told other people, I'm talking to myself. I want to be able to sit there by the end of all this training and all this shit and crawling through the mud so I can point at the fucking mirror and just look at myself beyond anyone else and say, look at that, god damn it. We put in the work and I fucking told you it would work out. Because that's all life is, man. It's just a basket of faith, you know? It's just putting your best front foot forward, taking as many first steps as you can so that you can do better every single step and march of the way, so that you can look at yourself down the road and be like, huh, here we are. I like to imagine that most people that find true happiness and success in life, which trust me, I'm fucking loving life. I'm doing a great due diligence to myself and my own healthy mental state, you know, regardless of the gym. I'm very appreciative and grateful for what I have. And again, money-wise, like, of course I'm not doing what other people may be doing at my age, but who gives a shit? I got enough and I'm happy, so that's all that matters, you know? Everybody's definition of success is going to alter depending on the way you grew up and what you want to, and the principles that you want to live around. So if I feel loved, successful in my own way now, then I gotta at the bare minimum have that good faith for myself, because that's what makes every step so much easier, so much more passionate, and more fruitful by the end of it all. I say it all the time. It's not the reps that feel good. They feel like dog shit, my boy. Even when I hit a PR, it feels like shit grinding out that last rep. But man, when I put that barbell back on the rack and I look at myself and I'm like, you handsome motherfucker. You know what? You just did that shit. You did that shit. Look at all the work you put in. You did that shit. I know it's a bit of a ramble, but that's what I'm feeling. And it's important that I get that kind of shit out so that tomorrow I can tackle it even harder. I'm going to be hitting some good I'm going to isolate the bench press tomorrow. I haven't benched in a good minute, so I took some time off. So we're going to see how my left pec is doing. I'm hoping that it is much more recovered now since I took some good time off, because unlike a tendon, a pulled muscle is pretty simple. You know, it's typically just, you know, stretching it out, doing the bare minimum, and then just letting it rest and heal until you can do it again, and then slowly, very slowly packing the lightweight up until every single week you can do some heavier stuff, you know? So we're going to see how it goes tomorrow. If it doesn't feel that great, then I'll do a couple more accessories to isolate it, as I've been doing with my knee. And I'll end the workout with some good, maybe some reverse Nordics and sissy squats, just to fully stretch out my quad tendon, get it really, really good and schmovin', you know, because I want to make sure I really touch on it every single day that I can. But let me know how your lives and your lifts have been going. I love hearing about it, and I appreciate all the support regardless, you know. I love being able to get this shit out with a nice group of people that can relate to it in any sort of way and be like, damn, I get where he's coming from. Because that good perspective and relatability among your peers and the ones that you look up to, it's important. You know, it keeps you going in a very good, positive way. So keep doing what you're doing. Love what you're doing. I'm going to keep doing it and loving myself. And that's all that matters. So above all else, I love you guys, and I appreciate it as always. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.